Hey everyone, this is Pause or Repeat. Here we figure out whether a game is really worth your time and money. Today's game is Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Super Mario Bros. Wonder is the latest iteration of the 2D platformer that Mario games are known for. The series has been around since 1983, and you'd be hard-pressed to find someone who doesn't at least know the name. So let's see if the new game is good by first taking a look at the gameplay. The gameplay of Super Mario Bros. Wonder doesn't stray too far from the previous games. If you've ever played a side-scrolling Mario game, you'll feel right at home. Wonder, of course, adds in some features that previous games didn't have. These features range from new power-ups like the elephant fruit that turns your playable character into an elephant, or even the titular Wonder Flower, among many others. The Wonder Flower, in particular, is a spectacle when it is activated, and the effects can vary from level to level. Regardless, it is a nice addition to shake up the gameplay from the traditional side-scrolling platforming. Another addition added in is called Badges, which lets you add extra abilities to your character, something much needed due to the characters themselves not having any varying abilities. But how about the story? Is it even important? The story in this game is not going to win any awards, but it's good enough at setting up the premise for the gameplay. It starts out by Mario and friends getting an invitation from Prince Florian of the Flower Kingdom for a demonstration of a Wonder Flower. Then, as expected, Bowser comes in and ruins everything by taking the Wonder Flower for himself and combining with the Flower Kingdom's castle, creating a floating battle fortress. It is then up to Mario and friends to stop Bowser, and as usual, we'll have to go through his minions first to get to him. Altogether, Super Mario Bros. Wonder is the side-scrolling platformer at its best. But now the question still stands: pause or repeat? You know, this game was actually kind of surprising because it came and no real marketing, I feel like, was out there from Nintendo to get this in the eyes of gamers, and it kind of got overshadowed by all the other games that came out at the same time. And that's why when I played it, I was like, okay, starting off at least, I was like, okay, I'm expecting this to be like another one of the new Super Mario Brothers games that came out on the Wii and the Wii U. It's not entirely like that. Partially, really, just because of the fact that there's the new effects with the Wonder Flower and the new power-ups. So it is a different experience, but like I said in the video, it also at the same time is very familiar to anyone who has played a Mario game before. That DNA is still there and it's not gone away. So you'll be able to, pick things up pretty quickly if you've played any Mario game. I would say though, and I've heard this from multiple people who have played the game, and I really agree with it, it's the fact that this game really does feel like a true iteration on what we know from like the SNES time. Whereas like the Wii and the Wii U new Super Mario Brothers, those games were great, and they were basically like a really polished, refined version of the original Mario games. But this one feels like they really took what was good about the original games, and now they decided, okay, let's put in some new stuff so that people aren't, just playing the same thing all over again. And, maybe you might call me a Nintendo fanboy for that, but I think it's a great game personally. I'm not sure if it's necessarily going to be a game that, if you don't have a Switch to go out and go buy a Switch to go play.
True.
But if you already have a Switch by this point, you're probably going to be able to, go pick this up at some point and have a good time, I'd say.
Yeah, I think those are all great points. I mean, it's a beautiful iteration of the 2D side-scrolling game that we all love when it comes to the Mario universe. I mean, this has one of the largest cast of characters to this date when it comes to this style of play. I think it's really, really fascinating. And I mean, what a perfect title for this game, Wonder. I mean, there is so many wonderful things that come, the vibrant colors, the scenery, the storytelling's very cool. It's fun for all kids and even older adults. Don't kid yourself. I mean, it's a very, very fun game. I think adding in what you were describing in your video, the flower effect, that really brings a fun element, especially when you can get the, like, let's say the elephant fruit as well. I mean, there's a lot of fun factors that make it really, really cool. And they do say this is the first game where you can actually do co-op online with the story mode. So That's a big plus. I mean, I think a lot of gamers have been calling for this when it comes to these kind of style of games. But I don't know about yourself, Henrik. It did feel a bit short, the story, but that's okay. That's why you're going to want to repeat it. It's fun for the whole family. It's a beautiful rendition. I'm all year in 2023, I've been kind of clowning, the Nintendo Switch a little bit just because it always feels like they don't really, cater for the adult audience. It doesn't really matter. This game is not meant for just the 18 plus. It's fun for the whole family.
No, absolutely. And I will say in 2023 we've had great games, but we've also had really bad games, unfortunately. It's kind of like a dual-edged sword in that sense. And this game, it has that Nintendo polish, and it's nice to see that at the end of the day, Nintendo still cares about delivering a good product, at least when it comes to their big name titles like Mario and Zelda. Those games, they always come out really polished, and this is no exception. This game has great animations from top to bottom. Like, you actually can see the little details in characters' faces, which I think that's awesome. Like that they actually took the time
Yeah.
to make sure that the little details like that were even accounted for, and that I mean that actually is really something you can applaud, especially when you have games like Gollum coming out this year.
Oh,
That
you had to bring Gollum
completely
into the
just
mix, Mario.
like missed the ball on terms
No,
of
yeah.
making a good game experience. So yeah.
And it's like, as you highlighted in the pause or repeat video, I think the badge is a really, really fun factor that kind of needed to happen when it comes to, the side scroll Mario games. You can be old school for as much as you can, but, when you're in the year 2023, it's time to revamp and reinvent the wheelhouse. And, Nintendo did an excellent job with this game. So it sounded like we're calling a repeat on this. I mean, I don't speak for Henrik the Wreck. He's going to have to say it himself.
Yeah, I believe I'm gonna repeat this at some point.
You're speaking from your heart, not your chest. Believe?
Yeah, exactly. Because I
So
would
you're
see
saying
myself, I would see myself playing this again, maybe on a higher difficulty,
Yeah, you're gonna
where
want
I take off all the badges and all that, and see if I can get through the game with all the difficulties in my way.
You're gonna be
And I
like
think
one of
that
those
that's
cats to
something.
speed run.
Yeah, exactly. And that's actually something that's a good point to bring up. I think that the community is going to like this game moving forward too. Things like the speedrun community are going to definitely play this game and try to speedrun it as fast as they can, put in some challenges in the way so that they can, just have a good time playing the game. And that's what the game's
Yeah.
all about.